What's going on? Born for Sports. Salute to New York Knicks Nation. Salute to suffering Net fans, for that matter, tonight. We got y'all involved tonight, so we're going to bring you in. We're going to bring you in. And like I was saying, woo! Belt to ass tonight from those New York Knicks, man. Net fans, how you feeling? How you feeling out there? Because I seen you were talking a lot, y'all. I seen y'all were talking a lot on social media out there. So I want to know how the Nets fans are feeling tonight. And I want to know how those Knicks fans, Knicks Nation, is feeling tonight after we get off the mat. But first things first, salute to everybody out there joining me on the podcast, man. Everybody out there, I hope you're having a great week. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that like button so we could let the algorithm know we are in the building. Yes, sir. Let them know we in the building. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button to Born for Sports. Well, I mean, was there any doubt that the Knicks were going to come out tonight with a little fire after that team meeting that we had with Brunson? But man, did they ever. Belt to ass, y'all. Y'all heard it. Go New York, go New York, go. Belt to ass, baby. The Knicks go out there and get the job done tonight. They destroy the Brooklyn Nets. 120-66. A franchise record 56-point win for the New York Knicks. And obviously, the Brooklyn Nets are pure ass. I mean, what else can you say? You're pure ass out there, Net Nation. I want to hear from you tonight. I want to hear from everybody. Knicks Nation, report to the stage. Net fans, report to the stage. I want to hear from you. And speaking of Knicks Nation, I got my guy who just arrived backstage. He want to give his takes. My fellow bro, my fellow OG Knicks fan bro, Ray, salute. How you feeling tonight, baby? Because it was belt to ass, wasn't it? Woo!
Belt to ass. What more can I say? You know, we needed this win. And, 54 points. I love it.
It wasn't even belt to ass. It was old school back in the days. Get that wire to ass for you fucking up on your parents out there. For the old school people that know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah. Tell me about it. Tell me about it. It couldn't even come at a better time.
At all, bro. At all. Oh, we gotta go to the chat real quick, my brother. The chat is a little bit on fire tonight, man.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Let's see what we got here. All right. Big Task in here. Salute Big Task, my God. He says, yo, this Knicks came back with the goddamn LOL. Was not playing tonight, baby. Big Task, salute. Oh, man. Yo, this was crazy, bro. Yeah, it was crazy tonight, man. The Knicks were not having no bullshit tonight. They've been hearing the criticism. They're having to get all that dirty laundry. We're going to talk about that in a moment. We're going to talk about what's wrong with the Knicks lately and stuff like that. But this was fun. This was a nice, fun bounce back win, and just with the doctor order for sure. Cliff, checking in. Cliff, salute. I know you're feeling good, Cliff. You can say it, Cliff. And look what he puts here. Luru definitely not showing up tonight. Of course he's not showing up tonight. You know he ain't want the smoke. He don't want none of the smoke. He was talking crazy in the groups and on social media. We know our guy. We know what he's all about. And all of a sudden, when I put the invitation to Net fans, okay, and let me just say this. Well, I'm gonna let Ray comment on this. I know he got a lot to say on these Net fans like Marino.
Definitely,
right?
Definitely. Yeah.
I put the invitation once again to y'all Net fans. So I want to hear from y'all. I'm sorry, like where y'all at? I want to hear from y'all out there, okay? Because you talk crazy all the time, but then when we want to chop it up and talk ball, or just troll talk, or just talk our ish, y'all don't be around. So I want to hear from y'all. I want to hear from y'all. I don't want to hear no excuses. And it's not just Marino. It's a lot of y'all. I will salute Corey last year. He was in. He came through. Kareem, he came through on the regular. You know what I'm saying? Kareem came through as well. You know what I'm saying? So all you Net fans, report to the stage. Stop hiding, y'all. Stop hiding. What you think about that, Ray?
Listen, I mean, you pretty much said everything, right?
Yeah.
And listen, the past 3 weeks, listen, they were all bravado in Hoops Dynasty. By the way, that's a Facebook group on Facebook. You know,
Yeah.
if you got a Facebook account, make sure you
Yeah.
join the
Know what it
group
is.
for, extra basketball content.
Yeah.
However, listen, they were all bravado, getting crazy,
Oh,
posting the weekly rankings and everything. Like they were just taking a jab at us any chance they got. But you
that's
know
all they
what? I'm
got.
I'm 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 currently active in the group right now. It's crickets. Listen. I'm already started my trolling. So when you get off the show tonight, you gonna see.
Oh
You
yeah,
gonna
you know
see.
I'm gonna talk my shit as well. And you know something, to be fair, right? It wasn't even just them in the groups. It's social media, it's Twitter,
Mm-hmm.
it's
Mm-hmm.
everywhere. As soon as the
Mm-hmm.
Knicks hit a spell, here come everybody want to bury them. Here come now the Net
Yeah.
fans want to beat their chest like King Kong, like oh yeah, those picks are gonna look so great later on. Listen, what are these picks have done for y'all right now? Y'all are ass, yo. And I've been telling them. I've been telling Net fans everywhere, as you have as well. I don't want to hear about picks. I don't want to hear it. Because look at what y'all drafting out there. Who out there is really giving you hope that they're a franchise player right now?
Listen, man. I mean, if y'all want to use our picks to go draft soldiers, former soldiers from the Ukraine and Russia war, be my guest. Listen, whatever
Skippy
make
and all of those guys, hey, listen.
yeah, man. Whatever help y'all sleep at night. You know.
Hey, that pick from the Bridges trade, right?
hmm
Traore, whatever his name is, he
hmm
blows, bro. What does he
Yeah,
do?
yeah.
Every time I look at an NBA, because what I do is when I look at any kind of stuff, I'm kind of you know how we do. We NBA fans as well. We'll check out what's on. You know, on my neck of the woods, Net games are not always on, but when they do come on, I catch them sometimes a little bit. I take a peek and I see these draft pick development stuff that everybody keep talking about how great it's going to be for them, right? And
Yeah.
I noticed there's a guy on there that was in the Bridges trade, because that's really what my focus is. I want to see what they're getting out the Bridges picks that they keep telling us how
You
stupid we
keep
were.
glossing over. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
And this
we
Traore,
want to see.
what does he do? What does he do, bro? What does he do well? That all of a sudden it's like, oh, we got your picks. Look what we got for Bridges. La, la, la. What did he do?
Listen, man, these Nets fans, they're going to glaze Charles Marks and the whole Nets organization. So at the end of the
Yeah.
day, I mean, listen, the proof is in the pudding. They haven't beaten us since
Absolutely.
2023. So what are
Absolutely.
we talking about?
So just so we know, in 19 minutes, this Traore kid that they drafted as one of the picks for Bridges, right? Whatever.
Right.
19 minutes, right? 0 points. Okay. He was 0 for what is this here? 0. He didn't even take a shot. So in
Mm.
19 minutes, he put up his stat line. He had 1 rebound in 19 minutes. No points, no assists, nothing. A minus 20 on the plus. What? This is what y'all really hyped about, Net fans. Talk to me. What do you see? Because I don't see it. I don't see
Yeah.
it. Y'all are ass straight like that. I don't want to hear about no picks. That Demon kid, I think he has a chance to be pretty solid. I'll say that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've watched him a few games this season. He's at least shown a pulse out of all those picks. I'm sorry, I'm not seeing it, y'all. Y'all got a long way to go. And you got to ask yourself, Net fans, is Fernandez even going to see Is he going to see the end of that contract to see these kids grow? Because I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't see it. I don't see it. Let's get back to the chat real quick. Multi power down. Salute, Multi. What's goody, bro? If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button, bro. Make sure you hit the like button, but most importantly, hit that subscribe button. Let's go, Knicks. I salute you. Welcome to the show. He says,
Yes,
save the Fire Brown talk. Can't get too hype on beating bums. True story. True story. True story. But life been tough lately. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. We ain't gonna get crazy. We're not about to say we are totally back yet. We're not doing that. We're not doing that tonight. But best believe we're gonna acknowledge in this ass whipping tonight. We're gonna acknowledge this ass whipping tonight, and the fact that we needed this win tonight. And it's a step in the right direction to get back on track. We'll do that. We'll do that for sure. Salute my sis checking in. Salute, sis. I know you loving the win. Yes, yes. Salute. Let's go, Knicks, baby. We putting the beats on them bums. We put the beats on them tonight. Yes, sir. Cliff says, ass whooping so bad. Old net players like Derek Coleman felt it. BGA. Oh, yeah. DC felt that. He felt that in the casino tonight. That's for sure. He felt that. He had a little spasm in the neck tonight. For real, bro. Big Taz says, LOL, Harlem Nights. Please do not take this ass whooping personally. Oh, we quoting Harlem Nights now. Oh, yeah, it was that bad. It was that bad. These dudes is bums, bro. I'm sorry. I don't understand, Ray, how Net fans was really feeling themselves for this little stretch that the Knicks are dealing with right now when they're hopeless. They're absolutely hopeless. And this is just sweet justice for them to shut the fuck up. Let us know. Beat us before you're gonna talk.
Straight up. When we go through a little adversity in our season, they look for any reason to just poke fun at Knicks fans. And listen, man, now it's like, look, this is the type of shit they be on that I don't get. And I find this to be like some bum ass behavior. Like, y'all be sitting there, y'all be rooting for other teams to beat us, but y'all can't beat us. Like, come on, like, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? You know? Like,
they suck, bro. When you got to root for the other teams to do it for your team.
Yeah,
you know
but you know what I'm saying? But I don't want to hear nothing after tonight. After we just whoop y'all asses by 54 points, I don't want to hear nothing moving forward. And we do play y'all. We do play. Yeah, we do play y'all one more time at the crib. So listen, I don't
try to keep it under 30 this time, y'all.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't ever since Nick Claxton talking about, since I've been in the league, I never beaten the Knicks. Listen, man, I appreciate you for the curse because I don't know when y'all ever gonna beat us again.
Yeah, straight up like that. He was talking real grizzy when KD was on the team. Now, Let me get nice so I could ride because I was riding their coattails of him and Kyrie, so I could just kind of duck and just pad my stats. What have you done since? What have you done?
Exactly. Let's talk about it.
Paid you to be a cornerstone of your franchise. They paid him, bro. They paid him $100 million. Am I wrong? I think they paid him $100 million, right?
Yeah.
But what does he do when he plays us? He don't do shit. He
don't do shit. So what are we talking about? What are we talking about?
Trash ass Nets. Net fans, how you feeling tonight? What's up? Where y'all at, man? Where y'all at? I want to know. Report to the stage. Stop hiding, y'all. Stop hiding from Knick Nation. You got to come face this music, and you got to come get this.
They don't want to check in, man. Right?
Yes, sir. Big Taz says, big salute, my guy, New York Knicks. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And here we are, my guy. I got T. Hood Take checking in. He says, stop the bleeding. Yes, sir. They stopped the bleeding tonight in an emphatic way. And a must-win. Listen, they took care of business. You know, the high caliber elite teams, they crush teams like this. But this was more than a crushing. This was a massacre. This was an ass whipping. Anytime you set a franchise record in a blowout loss, it has to be talked about. You know what I'm saying? But We ain't gonna get crazy like everything is all well and great now going forward. They still got to prove that to us that they're back to being what we saw early in the season. But it was a good step
Right.
in the right direction. We're gonna talk about that in a moment.
Right.
Multi also says we should get a 3-game win streak next few games. Get back on track. Yeah, this is the time to get right. This is the time to get right. The schedule softens up a little bit so they can get their bearings and get their continuity back and get their minds right. And this was a good step.
It
What do
was
you
one
think?
thing Alan Hahn mentioned tonight that, you know, it really stuck out to me, Pauls, that he was saying that, you know, look on the bright side. We're losing, but we're healthy. So just imagine when
And I hope
everything clicks, you know what I'm saying? It could have been worse.
Yeah,
It
for
could have
sure.
been worse.
For sure.
So,
Especially when we saw Brunson get hurt the other day and they had to take.
right.
So I was a little nervous about that. That's for sure. Yeah.
You know, so they gotta, yeah, you know, we needed this win. You know, whenever the camera was panning to the bench, you know, the guys, they were all smiles again. You know, they weren't all frowned and, you
Yeah.
know, not communicating with each other. Like, you know, they needed this, you know. Hopefully they was able to get the elephant off their back. So
Yeah, for sure.
well needed, well needed.
Yeah, for sure. You know, hopefully this gets them back in the right direction. Whatever was going on in that locker room and whatever else could have been going on, hopefully they iron that out. It's amazing what
Good
happens
time.
with winning. What winning does. It's the
Right.
perfect deodorant for anything that isn't right in any team. You win, then all of a sudden things aren't as bad and stuff like that. But sometimes, and I'm not excusing this little tough streak they've been on because
Right.
they had some pretty inexcusable performances, you know, lately and stuff like that. But sometimes you got to get that dose of reality to hopefully wake up and say, you know what, where's the accountability with us, y'all? And that's what I love Brunson did with that that team meeting they had after the last game and that
After the last game.
loss
Yeah.
against Dallas. You know,
Yeah.
that's what a captain does, and they responded. You know, they responded. They've been hearing it for the last week now, and deservedly so. You know what I'm saying? Because this is a team that is not playing up to their capabilities for whatever
Yeah.
reasons they aren't. And the reason why I still think this is a good team is because we saw them pretty damn good early in the season. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
tonight was the first time they look like the Cup Knicks tonight. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
If you want to go there, you know what I'm saying? And this was a step in the right direction. So, you know, hey, let's hope we can build off of this. That's the main thing. That's the
I
main
agree.
thing.
I
Yes,
agree.
sir. Flip says this was the type of ass whooping like after when your moms came home and you forgot to take that meat out the freezer. Yeah, that's for sure. That's definitely that ass whipping, or that ass whipping of, you know, when you tell your mom, yeah, I'm going to school while she go to work or whatever. Like, yeah, I'm going to school or whatever, right? And then you keep cutting class or leaving early from class, and you keep thinking you're getting away with it because she ain't seeing it. And then that one day you come home from work, from school, and your mom is home from work, and she asks you one time, or your father for that asks you one time. So how was school today?
Yeah.
Right? And you hit them with the same line. Oh, school was great. You know, it was cool. Whatever. Oh, yeah? What you do? Oh, yeah, you know, la, la, la. You bullshitting ass. Get your ass in here. The school call you been cutting. Yeah, that was that kind of ass whipping tonight. Yes,
Listen,
sir.
man. Listen, man. They haven't been putting a smile on, you know, for the past
No,
couple of games, but
no,
they
no.
definitely made me smile tonight.
For sure.
Definitely against a city rival, you know.
Yeah, that's
I
for
loved it. I loved it.
sure. It was a much needed one. Multi says, no doubt. And he says, trade rumors can hurt any team's morale. Yeah, it can. It can definitely do that. It can definitely do that. But you know what? If you win games and you play up to your capability, you won't hear trade rumors, you know, sometimes. You know, I think it actually I think it actually comes down to, you know, what kind of team and expectations you have. Like if you're a team that you know you're kind of all right, but you know you need more. Trade rumors are going to be involved. That's something, you know what I'm saying? That is what it is. But when you're a team like the Knicks, who They got rid of Coach Tom Thibodeau last year after making the Eastern Conference Finals. And you're running it back with the same nucleus, and you add on top of that, which I felt they should have, and Ray agreed as well. We talked
Yep.
many times in the offseason. You added to improve the bench. And now, you know what? You look around the East and you're like, hey, you're there. You're right there. You might be the cream of the crop of the conference. The expectations are you got to get to the finals and win that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So when you're not playing up to your capabilities of what you are, and especially when you showed it early in the year, these things are going to come out. So, hey, I'm just glad that tonight they can put that to bed for a night, at least one night, right? And it just goes to show you, hey, when we all do our part and play together and do what we were doing early, look what we can do. And we know that's an inferior team. We know they're a bum squad. But you know what? We made sure that they didn't even have a shot tonight because we know we're better. Let's improve on that. That's how you know this team can be what you all thought you could be when the season started. What do you think about that, Ray?
Listen, man. You pretty much hit the nail on his head. This is the team that we know. This is the team that we, when even in the offseason, when this team was constructed, this is the type of team that we envision, even leading up to the cup. So whatever meeting that they had yesterday, even with the post game interview when Han was interviewing Jalen Brunson, he asked him about, hey, it's been rough, you know, according to reports, you guys had a player only meeting, how was that meeting like? And Jalen Brunson basically said, hey, man, it was a lot of accountability. It was a lot of self-reflecting.
Yeah.
And, we're looking to build from there. So I really hope whatever issues the players had among themselves, or if there was any friction with the coach, I hope they were able to hash it out. And it's better to get it done now than later on when the postseason arrives. So, due to based on my personal observation, the problems that I was seeing was, you know, um, well, the elephant in the room is Cat, right? So,
Right. It is.
yeah,
And it's Cat, and it's also the adjustment to the system the players are having with Mike Brown.
right.
Mainly
So,
mainly him. But yeah.
yes. So it's been mainly him, and
Mhm.
trying to find himself within Mike Brown's system. So it's been a rough path. You know, there were times when Cat will commit unnecessary fouls, and he may not agreed with getting yanked out the game too early, or whenever you know he would have his back to the basket. Other guys would not feed him the ball. So um, there's obviously been a lot of friction with that, and it spiraled down to the locker room that it made the team look bad. It made us look stalled out on offense. It got to the point
Right.
that when we was swinging the ball, we was flourishing on offense. It got to the point that we was thinking too much on offense. We was being
Oh,
hesitant.
yeah.
There was a lot of ball stopping, right? So and a major thing that I peeped that really changed tonight was we got off to a better start. And I
Yeah.
feel like when we have a strong start, that's what gets this team going.
For sure.
So
For sure.
um is with the things that concern me with this team, even from like the first game is that first quarter and that third quarter. Is that
Mhm.
first quarter you gotta have a better start. Coming from a halftime, we can't be too content. We can't just like, all right, you know what? We just gonna go with the crew. We just gonna go with the flow of the game. We just gonna fall back a little bit. But
For
one
sure.
thing I peeped tonight was it was straight listen, after halftime, it was right back to ass kicking.
Oh yeah,
So I'm pleased, and I really hope we can see more consistency out of this. Let this not just be like a one hit wonder type of thing. Like, we only came back from one night.
yeah,
So listen, we got a big test against the Sixers on Saturday, and I
yeah.
will be
We need some
present at the
get back.
game.
We need some
Yeah,
get back on them for sure, for sure.
big time.
We'll bring in another one of our OG Nick fan bros, our guy T. What's goody, T? How you feeling tonight, brother? T, you there? Yo, T, can you hear us?
Probably having some difficulties.
Yeah, probably have to. I'll get you back in a moment, brother.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah. Let's see if we can get him back in here. T, can you hear us, bro? We can't hear you if you can hear us.
His mic might be off.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, when
Let
you
me
when you
reach
get
out to
right,
him.
just get back in when you get right. I'll get you back in, brother. Yeah. Looking at these comments here, Multi says coaching staff accountability has to step up. We missing that dog mentality. I think it starts at the top, my opinion. I feel you, brother. I feel you. Coaching staff accountability. Is the thing about it with the coach, right? Even last year when we used to talk about with Tibbs and stuff like that, like we put it more on the players than the coach. My whole issue with Tibbs last year was only about him playing the bench and the young players. That's really what it was for me. We recognize he was a good coach and everything and stuff like that. But one thing I will say, the accountability was there. Mike Brown is a little more on the I don't want to say softer side, but more like leaning on like being a players type coach first. And
Yeah,
that can take you so far. I don't have a problem with that, but you better best believe you better be ready to put the foot down and throw the hammer down when you need to as a coach and say, all right, guys, we cool and all that, but listen, it's about winning. And I need to get y'all right. And so figure this shit out. You know what I'm saying? And I think he
right.
did that because he said he made some changes tonight after the last game against Dallas in his post-game presser. He said he thinks he knows what he needs to do. That quote was very telling. He said, I think I know what I need to do to get through a little bit better and shake things a little up. And they asked him, and he didn't reveal what it was, but he led it on to that. I noticed Jordan Clarkson did not get no minutes tonight. Coley didn't get no minutes tonight until garbage time.
It's a
You know what
garbage
I'm
time,
saying?
right? Yeah,
So it felt like that was more of a statement to certain guys, like, even if you're not putting it all on them, like, yo, y'all got to figure this out, okay? Like, y'all not going to just play just to play. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to hold yourselves accountable and play better. And I ain't mad about that. So, in my opinion, that was a good move by Mike Brown, okay?
yeah,
I think this
yeah.
was more about, I want to hear your thoughts on that, Ray. I think it was more about the players responding to the captain's Brunson's team meeting. That's what I think more what this was about. But I do like what Mike Brown did. What are your thoughts on that, bro?
Yeah, I also find that interesting that, Kolek and, Clarkson, the only time they
Yeah.
came in tonight was during garbage time.
Yep.
We pretty much knew there's gonna be some odd mans out once Shamit and Josh Hart came back, and right now they seem like the catalyst that that's probably not getting any burn. I mean, it's crazy how Yabusule is still getting minutes out there when to me
They
he
showcasing him, bro. You know that's what it is. They showcasing him for that track.
yeah.
It don't even make sense whenever he's even in the game. You
So
know why
you
he's
know
out there.
yeah, they
I mean,
got
that's what it
a
feels like. I could be wrong, but
he pretty much got an audition for the deadline, right? So
yeah, yeah,
you know those are good plays, man. They're gonna find themselves back in the
yeah,
rotation.
yeah. They will. They will. Yeah.
I just think that they just had to make a statement tonight and just go with the right plays on the floor. And Mike Brown did exactly that.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree with that.
Hmm.
Multi also says OG and MB. Who's MB? Oh, Mike Brown have
Mike
been
Brown,
playing. Is that Mike Brown or what's MB? Oh, Mitch. Is that Mitch you saying? He says MB. Who's MB? Who got initials MB? Well,
MB. Oh
Well,
no,
OG,
Mikal
OG.
Bridges. Mikal Bridges.
Oh, Bridges. Okay, okay, all right.
Yeah,
OG and Mikal Bridges have been playing subpar as well. Team chemistry off, some players, but different coach styles, my opinion. I dig that. I dig that comment as well. OG and Bridges have been around, especially Bridges. Bridges has been in a little bit, I think, of a shooting funk
yeah,
in the stretch of games and stuff like that. I did see a better outcome for Mikal, you know what I'm saying, tonight. I did see that. He
Mhm.
played a little better. It was good. It was good that it was such a blowout win, so they didn't really have to use the money minutes tonight. So, I always wonder, like with Bridges, is it the minutes or something? Because he does still play a significant amount during the
yeah.
season with us. Not as much as last year, but so shooting slumps happen. We know Mikal has this about him. He'll have a stretch of games where he just ain't hitting his shot. Tonight he looked more aggressive. My whole thing with
Definitely.
Mikal is I want him to be aggressive instead of just settling. You know what I'm saying? Like, take your shots. When you get to the rack, don't stop and all the time and fade. I know the pull up is a part of your game. I get that. That's his game. But sometimes I need you to just attack and get to the line. You know what I'm saying? That's my whole thing with Mikal. Sometimes I want to see a little more of that. There's always critique with every player that you like and root for or whatever on your team. But that's just my whole thing. Bridges, we know, can be hit or miss in stretches. Right now, he was in a bad stretch. Let's see. OG looked like, to me, was more of the guy that was annoyed on the floor a lot on defense. You
Yeah,
could see it, right? He was getting
yeah,
pissed a lot of times. He yelling a little bit something at Cat,
yeah.
rotating and shit like that. I even saw him even say something to Brunson a couple of games ago. I think there was like a rotation. I guess there was a miscommunication. He kind of looked at Captain like, "Oh, bro, you're supposed to be there. What happened?" Like, he turned around, not malicious, but he turned around like, "Yo, what
Right,
happened?" So I
right.
can tell he's getting a little frustrated with the way the defense has been playing. And let's be honest, that has been the biggest problem with the Knicks right now is their defense more.
The defense. I
Yeah.
agree.
So
I
what do you
agree.
think about that, bro?
Once again, like you pointed out, just been a lot of miscommunication. A lot of guys not giving, you know, not giving effort at all on the defensive end. And it's just, I've been online. A lot of people they feel like it's the coach, it's the coach, it's the coach, and it's to be honest with you. I mean, the coach have a the coach have some blame in this, but to me, I
Absolutely.
think I
Absolutely.
think I
Yeah.
think we was going through a team issue.
Right. That's
You know,
exactly. I just think it was more
I
about
I
that.
just it was more of a team
That's
issue.
all. I mean,
Yeah,
the coach has to. Mike Brown's got to be better as well. You know what I'm saying? And I get
right,
it. I get it, bro. He's still learning the players on his team. He's still trying to get them to buy in with
right.
the system he's running. There's gonna have to come a point during the season if the system if they keep resisting on this system, or not. Maybe resisting is too much of a too big a word. I
Hmm.
know there's some players that have been resistant to the system, like Cat. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
But if the system isn't doing good enough to win games and be where we need to be, you're gonna have to make adjustments. Sooner
Got to
or
make
later,
it.
rubber
Yeah,
gotta hit the road, bro. You gotta try something else. You know what I'm saying? And it is what it is. You know what I mean? So he does get his share, but I feel like it's more on the players
on the
this
players. Yeah,
situation
yeah.
within the locker room with each other, trusting each other, bro. I seen them tonight talking defensively on the court more than I seen in a while.
Yeah,
Am
yeah,
I
yeah.
crazy for saying
We
that?
haven't seen this in weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And listen, we all play ball at one time. Ray, I know you always in the gym as well.
Oh yeah.
You know
Oh
what I'm
yeah.
saying? And a lot of team defense is about talking on the
It's
court.
all about
Nobody,
talking on the court,
no, for
communicating
real. Like,
constantly. Yeah,
no one's gonna
yeah,
hear what you thinking, bro. You gotta speak
yeah.
what you thinking. So
Yo, watch your left side, watch your right side.
hey,
Yo, switch. You
hey,
got one coming right behind you. Pause. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's constant communication.
yeah.
That's part of team defense.
That's a
Communicating.
fact. That's a fact, and
Mhm.
they were. I don't know whether it was whatever the disconnect was for this stretch of games. You could see it wasn't happening. Even in early in the season, they were getting away with some principles that they weren't doing a lot, and we know who they are.
Yeah,
Deuce kind of led into that in the last game. After the game, he kind of brought that out to the open. One thing about Deuce, he ain't afraid to speak his mind about stuff that he's seeing going on the court.
yeah,
Um,
big
he
time.
he put that out there as well, but but they were getting away with it because they were over. They were playing so good offensively. You know what I'm saying? Now it's January. We need y'all to lock in on both ends. You know what I'm saying? And I've already come to the realization of last year. They're just not going to be a great defensive team like we want them to be as Knicks fans.
Right.
If you can give me solid or whatever, give me a solid defensive team, okay, and knows how to lock in the fourth quarter. I'm okay with that because I feel like this team offensively is 9 times out of 10, they're going to be good enough to win most nights. That's what is the issue is the defense, bro. What do you think about that? What do you
Oh,
think about this team defense and what they can do to get better?
um, I think there needs to be better communication, like what we alluded to earlier.
Yeah,
Um, I can't lie. I feel like we need an enforcer.
right.
You know, somebody
Accountability.
who, yeah, somebody who's gonna anchor the defense no matter what. You
Mhm.
know, you know, I don't want to say that we're soft, but you know, we have a lot of guys in the locker room that they're not trying to fight you. They just trying to play ball.
Yeah.
And I think you kind of need that a PJ Tucker or Isaiah
Oh,
Stewart or like you kind of need that in the locker room, because the last thing we need is players like a Draymond Green trying to punk our players and he's another one. He's one of
like,
those that like he like to pick and choose. He ain't gonna do that to a Julius Randle or
yeah,
uh, uh, a Bobby Portis. Like he
yeah.
pick and chooses. So he
You
likes
know
to pick a
who he can do that to, right? Which is
yeah, so having a force is gonna eliminate problems like that because it's like, yo, you're not gonna do that to my teammate. You know,
a fact.
if I gotta, if even if I gotta throw a punch and I take a fine, I get suspended for the whole game and the whole team chip in and pay my fine, I do it. But you're not gonna do that to this team.
That's a
So,
fact.
I feel like we need that, and listen, once again, there's plays that I feel that could do better. Um, I thought when we acquired Yabasule, I thought he was going to be one of those key pieces because he's a player that
Winning.
he plays both ends of the court, but
Yeah.
we haven't really gotten that, and I think we were kind of bamboozled like acquiring him because he really got a chance to bowl out in Philadelphia when Philly wasn't good, when majority of the team was just broken goods. So
And he was solid in the Olympics.
so yeah, he was able to be a starter and get majority of minutes, and he was able to just go to work on the court. So now is he's coming to a team that's already in place, and he has to find himself in the rotation, and he haven't really been able to like to finally make a stamp on this team. So I
Yeah.
do. I do strongly feel like the Knicks are going to make a transaction come deadline. So I'm just extremely curious to see what Leon Rose does.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's going to be very interesting. I'm not looking, I don't think it's going to be anything like huge, like
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
Giannis or anything like that. The
yeah.
Giannis talk got to wait till the summer. We got to wait on that to see if they'll do something. Right now, it's not going to happen, and I don't think it should happen. To be honest with you, I think this team is good enough to win an NBA championship. Okay,
I agree.
I do think that. I think they can definitely come out the Eastern Conference. Obviously, it's not going to be easy. Nothing's ever easy. Okay, but I do think they are one of the teams that can win it all this year. So, and the Knicks have to see this through. You know what I mean? They got to see this through, unless they go on a streak of losing where by the deadline and they're not even in the playoff or they're in like the low end play-in. I mean, why would you want to break up the team? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So
I agree.
yeah, so I don't think that's it, but I can definitely see, like you said, a transaction done. I think they're showcasing Yabu. I think that's why he's even playing, because he's basically unplayable anytime he's on the court. So they're showcasing him. You know, he doesn't do much when he's on the court for us. So let's see how it goes. Cliff says, I know it's against the Nets, but any type of win feels good right now. Maybe it's best to go through a rough times now than late in the season and during the playoff time. Yeah. I mean, ideally, I'd rather it happen now. I absolutely agree with you. And, you know, we're not getting crazy tonight over this win, but you know what? It's a step in the right direction and a win they needed to show. You know what I'm saying? So let's see if they can capitalize and turn this into back to normal and get on a roll here. They have an opportunity. Multi says Knicks might have been reading too much of their own press after winning that cup. You know, never know. Maybe there was some players in the locker room that kind of maybe they weren't feeling themselves, but kind of like took the foot off the gas, like, you know, we know we're good. Let's kind of put it in cruise control right now. And then things just kind of spiral. And then when you think you could just hit the switch back like that, and it doesn't go back on. Now you got guys not feeling each other and being mad and things like that are going against, you know, when things ain't going your way. Maybe that's true. Who knows? Yep. All I know is this. They have talent, and when they play their game, they can beat anybody. I truly believe that. I'm not saying they're a perfect team. There's obviously flaws on the team. Every team has a few. You know what I'm saying? Even Oklahoma City, the champ, they got flaws as well that I know they're looking to work on. Every team has flaws. But if you're asking me today, I think the Knicks are one of those handful of teams that can win it all this year as currently constructed. But they got to go out and do it. And
got to go out. Yeah, execute.
Yeah. You can't just sit back and say, oh, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. The next thing you know, we're a playing team or some shit. You know, we can't have that because it can happen at any moment. You know what I'm saying?
Any moment. So exactly.
Let's see if they go on a streak, which I expect from here on out, they're going to do that. Multi says a little basketball IQ helps. Sadiq Bey could change our wing defense. Yeah, I like Sadiq Bey too.
That's my guy.
Yeah, I would like that as well. Only thing is who you're going to give up. That's the issue, because if he comes here, he's got to play. You know what I'm saying? And he's got to play. So, you know, if you make a move like that, you know, somebody, a major role piece in that bench has to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to probably have to get rid of a Deuce or somebody like that. Just spitballing the name. You're going to have to do that. Or if you don't put them in that trade, somebody's not going to play. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you don't make a move like that with what Bay brings to your team and leave him on the bench and play 5 minutes. You're not going to do that. So
not going to do that. No.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be mad at that move at all. And I can tell y'all for a fact, y'all, Ray is definitely a Sadiq Bey supporter. He likes Bey a lot. So I know
my guy.
I know you would.
That's my guy, man.
Hey, there's some breaking news. The Mets made a trade. How about that? Oh, shoot. I know there was some rumors, there was some stuff going on that maybe they were going. The Mets sending Jet Williams, Brandon Sproat to the Brewers for Freddie Peralta. And, they got Tobias Myers as well. That's an interesting trade. Man, Sproat was my guy for all my Met fans out there. Sproat was my guy, man. I like Sproat a lot. But if I have to choose, I'm not trading Tom. I'm not doing that. So you have to give to get. Jet Williams, a prospect I like, but he just couldn't get on the team. I don't know where you're going to put him. The Mets just never got him a chance. And, you know, David Stearns, he didn't draft him. So I guess they felt like they could move him. There's other prospects. The Mets have a very good farm system right now. So that I can understand what they're thinking. You know what? We got to make this move. I'll say this. I like Freddie Peralta. He's a good pitcher. He's a good front end pitcher. I'm not ready to say he's like a dominant ace.
Dominant, yeah.
But he's a
Yeah.
front end. He's like a two guy, like a two, possibly that can be a one. He hasn't reached the dominant ace status yet. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, it's
now. I need that extension in making a trade like this because
yeah.
you gave up pieces.
I mean, I was looking. I seen his ERA is I think it was like 2.70 last season, which isn't bad.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
And the Brewers and for a good Brewers team they had the number 1 seed in baseball last year. They flamed out in the playoffs as I expected they would, but they did have the number 1 seed in the regular season last year, and he was a part of their pitching. He was their ace. They didn't. The Brewers, we know what they're about. Small market team. They're not going to go out there and go spend millions of dollars on too much players like that. So I expect Peralta will be re-signed. And let's be honest, he's a David Stearns guy. Stearns drafted him or whatever. I assume he's going to give them the bread. Let's hope we do that. They cannot let this guy get away. So I guess I don't think he'll get a Tariq Schoolbull kind of contract next year. But, hey, you get him and you sign a Schoolbull to go on in the future next year, in the offseason next year. That's down the road.
That's down, yeah.
You're looking at the rotation right now. It's a lot better. I'll say that. You got Peralta. You got Nolan McLean, who I think is going to be a monster.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you saw what he was basically the ace last year when he got to the team, when they finally brought him up. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Okay. You have David Peterson, solid pitcher. You hope Sean Manaea can get back to form. Okay. Kodai Senga, he's the oddball.
Yeah.
Because he
haven't been the same.
Dude, when he's right, he's an effective pitcher. But man, is he soft. Any little injury, he's out of whack for 2 months. Yeah. He's unreliable. So I'm not relying. I'd rather him be the 5th starter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Also, Jonathan, you got to think that he'll be in the rotation as well. So the Mets on paper have some talent in the pitching staff going forward. I like what they did there. I wanted Pete back, but the writing was on the wall last year. They weren't trying to give him a lie. And once the team offered him what he wanted, he was gone. Yep. So that is a loss that we have not really replaced. But I do like the moves they made and lengthening the lineup more. So we'll see. So a good day for the Mets. Solid trade. Hey, you got to give to get, y'all. They didn't give up time, and I didn't want Jet Williams in that trade, really. But, hey, they're in a position of strength. You got to give to get. So
got to give to get.
Yeah, and they got another player in return with Peralta. So could be a win-win situation. The Mets are improved this week. They improved their team this week. I think they should be a solid team next year. We'll see going forward how solid. So good day for the Mets too. Good day for the Mets. So the Knicks pounce and trounce the fucking Nets into oblivion, and now the Mets made a good trade to improve their team. So we having a good night, Ray. We having a good night.
I agree. I ain't even mad, man.
Yeah, for sure. Back to the chat. Multi says Yabu coming out of shape. Lost coach immediately. Yeah, he looked like he gained some pounds. I don't know. He was always a thick kind of forward pause, but you know what? He looks a lot slower this year. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, man.
You got to think maybe he just doesn't fit the system. Mike Brown wants ball movement. He wants to push pace. He wants to play with pace. Yabu doesn't look like that kind of a player. He never has looked like that kind of a player. So I don't know. Maybe he just doesn't fit. Who knows? But he's basically, for the most part, unplayable based on what we have ahead of him in the rotation. Multi says, good pitcher. Let's go Mets. Yes, sir. He says, we can sleep good tonight. Yeah, for sure. For sure. We can definitely sleep good tonight. It was a good time, a good night to be
A
a
good
Knicks.
night for the orange and blue
Orange
in
and blue
general.
skies, baby, on both ends.
That's it.
It was a good night, man. So before we wrap up tonight's show, just gonna run down real quick some numbers. Um, as the Knicks destroy the Nets tonight. 13 straight win versus Brooklyn. Playing the Nets is the Knicks' best medicine. If you're sick, the Knicks was sick, y'all. They were sick. They had the flu. They had the flu, and tonight the Brooklyn Nets became the Theraflu, the NyQuil, just
That's
what the
it.
doctor ordered. The Nets, I mean, you're just not on the Knicks level, y'all. Let's just call it what it is. Y'all, the Net fans, y'all out there, are y'all still out there or y'all ducking? Whatever it is. If you're out there listening to this podcast, all right, you're not on our level. So the trash talk can only get you so far. Because when
Only
it
so
comes
far.
down, yeah. When it comes down to the rubber hitting the road, this is what's going to happen, y'all. So pick and choose your words wisely. I get the whole Knick Net fan rivalry. You know, you're going to root for us to lose. You want to see us fail. I get it. That's all but that's all you got. That's all you got to look forward to is to hope we fail. That must really suck.
That's it burns them. It really do. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
I love it though. I love it.
For sure, man. I know it burns them, and they won't admit it, but they know it. You know, y'all keep on talking about those draft picks, though. Y'all go ahead and have that. We gonna take this.
Kill me with that.
Yeah, my player of the game is Jalen Brunson. All right, it wasn't much of a player of the game situation because the game was basically over. All right,
it was over before it started.
Yeah. You know, 20 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds. You know, that's the player of the game. It was light work tonight for the entire team. You know, the team just basically dominated. I can go through every stat. Doesn't matter. When you win by 56 points, it ain't much to really recap. It was an ass whipping on all phases of the game. You know, the Knicks just straight massacred them. And the turning point of the game, speaking of you saying that, Ray, about how it was easy light work. The turning point of the game is when the Nets came out for warm-ups. That was the turning point. Just coming out the turn warm up. That was the play. That was the turning point of the game, y'all. Y'all had no shot tonight. No shot tonight, y'all. Okay, none. It was a wrap. It was an ass whipping. So ain't much to talk about there. Y'all just ass Net fans. Enjoy your ass season. The Knicks, we'll be all right. We'll figure some things out. Whether we win the title or not, we want to win the title. We'll see. But at least we got a season to play. Y'all go ahead and go worry about them draft picks, though. You know?
That's it. That's it. Don't worry. You know, we're going to be fine, man. You know, but we hope this is the turning point.
Yes,
moving forward.
Absolutely. Last comments of the night. Multi says, orange and blue. Yes, sir. He says, rivalry? LOL. Yeah, it ain't no rivalry. It's a fan-based rivalry, more so with the Nets. Us as Knicks fans, we just like smacking around our stepbrother when they get out of pocket. That's all. That's all it is, Multi. We just like smacking them around and making them burn a little bit anytime, you know, to put them back in their place. You know what I mean? Because they were talking hella greasy when they had Kevin Durant and they had Kyrie Irving and they had Harden and all those things, and they was gonna take over the city and all of that. And then lo and behold, how you like me now? You didn't take over nothing. You couldn't take over even when the Knicks were even a marginal playoff team, when they were a middle of the pack playoff team, and you're damn sure not going to do it now that we're title contenders. That's a wrap. That's a wrap. So every now and then, you know, we got to go out there and just kind of put them back in their place. You know what I mean? Nothing crazy. Cliff says, see you in Philly on Saturday. I won't be there. I can't make it, honestly. I wish I could. I can't make it out there. You know, just too far from my neck of the woods with my obligations at home and at work. So I won't be able to make it. Ray, I believe, are you going to that?
I'll be there.
Yes, sir.
I'll definitely be there. Yeah.
Yes, sir. So, Cliff, you know, you got to link up with my guy, Ray, man. You got to take a photo and do it.
You're definitely linking up for sure, man. That's my Haitian brother, man.
Do it for the coach, y'all. You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Multi says, no shot. Knicks was starving like Marvin. Ribs was touching. Fully loaded and still shot Blakes. Yeah. They couldn't do nothing with it, man. It's the Nets gonna Nets. They never had the city and never will. It is what it is. But that's gonna wrap up tonight's show. Next game will be Saturday night, as Cliff and Ray mentioned, at Philly. It's time to get some get back. Time to get some get back on Philly. Okay, they came into the Garden a couple of times and kind of out physicaled us and got some wins. It's time the Knicks make a statement. They ready to get back on.
Definitely get some much needed to get back. So
yeah,
let's make it happen.
Absolutely, get some get back and turn this bludgeoning blowout massacre tonight into a springboard to get back on track. Good way to do it. Go on the road and go win in Philly. And we all know the Villanova boys always love coming to Philly.
They love coming home.
You know it, Ray. So I'm expecting a good game and a good win. And I'm expecting my guy Ray and the rest of my Knick Nation crew and bros out there and sisters out there to have a nice time leaving Philly that night.
Yes, sir. We're going to make it happen, man. We're definitely going to make it happen.
Definitely, for sure. Multi says another Knick home game in Philly. Yes, sir.
You already know.
Peace, good brother. Yes, sir. Salute, Multi. So that's going to wrap up today's show. As the Knicks, they get the job done. They go out there and they kick the living shit out of those Brooklyn Nets. 120-66, and they set a franchise record in a 56-point win. Salute to the boys getting back on track.
Yes, sir.
Let's see what we can do. Let's see if we can springboard this, as we mentioned, into another win streak. Before we go, I'm gonna let Ray have his last final thoughts of the night, brother.
Listen, man. I really hope whatever was discussed yesterday. I really hope, this is the team that we're riding from now to possibly June. So,
yes, sir.
I'm gonna leave it. Listen, man. At the end of the day, I bleed orange and blue. So I'm gonna leave it with the guys. I got faith, and we're gonna keep the ball rolling.
Sir, yes, sir. Hey, it's still only January, y'all. Got a lot of seasons left to go. You know what I'm saying? So, I think the Knicks will be fine. Obviously, we don't want to have stretches like this, but it happened. Let's see if we get back on track and move on and get the ball rolling. That's all we expect.
That's all we got asked for.
Yep, and that's what we expect, because the New York Knicks are indeed title contenders, and I believe they will be at the end. They will be in the mix to get that done. But long way to go. Got to crawl before we walk. Whole lot of season left to play, y'all. So let's see how we do going forward. So that's going to do it tonight, y'all. Salute to everybody out there joining the show, in the chat, in the comments. Salute as well, always, to my bro Ray for joining me as well as we chop it up as always. And salute to everybody out there that came through. And you know what? Salute to all the hiding-ass Brooklyn Net fans who've been talking greasy and duck and didn't want to come on. Salute to you guys as well. Godspeed on the Brooklyn Nets. Getting your ass tonight. Deal with that. Yes, sir. So that's going to do it. All I ask is one more thing out there. If you haven't done so, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button to Born for Sports, because, folks, I talk all sports. As you can see, big-time New York Knicks fan, big-time franchise record win tonight. Knicks got to get this ball rolling and get back on track. They did so far tonight. Let's see where we go going forward. Knick Nation, the pages turn on this podcast for Born for Sports to Knicks season. Keep it locked for that Knick content you seek. I talk New York Giants football. I'm still smiling, y'all. We had a shitty season, but you know what? We got a top 5 head coach in football, John Harbaugh. Yes, sir. John Harbaugh is the New York Football Giants head coach. New York Giant Nation, we feeling good. Hey, good things are going to come for this franchise. I think this is the turning point of our franchise right now. Keep it locked, man. We got some content coming soon. Coordinators are still in flux. We'll see if Tom Monken becomes the offensive coordinator and who's going to be the DC. Keep it locked New York Giant Nation for that content coming soon. I talk New York Mets baseball, and as you see, the Mets made a trade, big time trade tonight. They get Freddie Peralta from the Milwaukee Brewers to add to the rotation. Good moves this week. The Mets have made some solid moves. They signed Bo Bichette. I really like that move. I really like that move going forward. They didn't get Tucker. He went to the Dodgers like a little punk. Little, he took the soft way out, whatever. He went to the Dodgers to go, try to freeload a ring or whatever. All power to him. It is what it is. That's cool. Bo Bichette was a nice pivot. I like that bat a lot. I think he's going to really help protect Juan Soto and Lindor in this lineup. They also added Luis Robert last night in a trade. Hey, Gold Glove caliber center fielder. He's got power. 2 years ago, he was an all-star. So, hey, it's a low-risk, high-reward move. Hey, I like that move. I think it's a solid move. Keep it locked, New York Met Nation, for that Met content coming soon. And we talk it all, y'all. We talk about the Yankees. We talk about the Jets. We talk about the bum-ass, as you can see, Brooklyn Nets. We talk about whatever you want to talk about in the world of sports, especially New York sports. Salute, Knick Nation. Salute to my guy, Ray. Like and subscribe to Born for Sports. Let's go, Knicks.
Yes, sir.